Dream big and explore our world.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A music and adventure world.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A hike in the forest and swim in the sea. Meet silly creatures and learn new things. To sing great songs, travel on a train, but build a skyscraper and pilot a plane. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more. Make new friends, come on, don't be shy. Let's get a kite and we'll fly, fly, fly. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime Anytime. Today, I want to talk about friendship. What does it mean to be a good friend? Have you ever thought about it? I think being a good friend is being nice and kind. It's treating someone the way you want to be treated. Being a good friend means being a good listener too. It also means being encouraging and helpful. When I was growing up, my best friend and I were a lot alike in some ways, and in other ways, we were very different. That's what made us have so much fun together and learn to appreciate each other. Our first story is about making a new friend. Let's take a listen. A new friend for me. There's a new kid in my class. He's really cool. He wears sunglasses and has 4 names. Montague Morton Meriwether Smith. On Monday, we went on a nature walk. Everybody found leaves and acorns, except the new kid. He found a giant mastodon bone. On Tuesday, we played in the sandbox. Everybody made mountains and dug tunnels, except the new kid. He built a giant castle with 6 tall towers. On Wednesday, we blew bubbles. Everybody made lots and lots of little bubbles, except the new kid. He made one great big bubble and stepped right inside. On Thursday, we drew pictures on the sidewalk. Everybody drew funny faces, except the new kid. He drew a purple and green stegosaurus as big as the whole playground. On Friday, it was show and tell. I had my pet snake. It was in a box, but it got out. Everybody screamed, except the new kid. He thought my snake was great. Now the new kid's my new friend. Well, my best friend Sue did not like snakes like the boys in our last story, but that's okay. Having differences is fine. If we were all the same, I think our world would be, well, a bit boring. Don't you? Let's sing a few songs about making friends.
Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. Make new friends.
Where do you go to meet new people and make friends? Maybe you go to gymnastics or soccer or ballet to meet new friends. Or maybe you have a big family and your friends are your cousins or brothers and sisters. Going to school is also a great place to meet new friends. In our next story, the children meet a very unexpected friend as they ride the bus to school. The Little School Bus That Talked. It was the first day of school. It was also the first time that the bright, new, shiny little yellow school bus had been taken out of the garage to drive the children to school. He felt very proud and excited as he pulled up to the bus stop and saw all the children waiting for him. Soon, all of his seats were filled with chattering, laughing children. The little school bus went through the middle of the town and stopped right in front of the school door, waiting while all the children got out. In the afternoon, the little school bus took the children back home again. Then his driver took him to the gas station to have his tank filled. As he stood beside the gas pump, he began to feel a little sad. He wished he could laugh and talk with the children and be their friend. But the trouble was, he had no voice. Then a strange thing happened. The gasoline which had been pumped into his tank was cold. And when the driver started his engine, it made him cough. At first, he was rather surprised because he had never heard himself cough before. Then, suddenly, he was filled with excitement because he knew he must have a voice after all. That night, while the other buses were sleeping, the little school bus practiced using his new voice. He coughed again to get the feeling of making a sound. Then he tried to say some of the words he had heard the children saying. Suddenly, in a loud, clear voice, he said, "I can do it!" The little school bus was too excited to sleep that night, so he stood in his place waiting for what would surely be the most thrilling day of his life. Talking to the children was not as easy as the school bus thought it would be. They were all busy talking to each other. But as they were driving through the town, the traffic light turned red and the little school bus stopped. In his loudest voice, he said, "I have to stop for a moment because the light is red." The children asked, "Who said that?" "I did," said the little school bus very proudly. "It's my new voice." At that, the driver stopped the bus. Everyone jumped out to see where the voice was coming from. The traffic in the street all stopped too. A crowd was gathering. Before anyone knew what was happening, there was a traffic jam that filled the whole street. The Johnson twins, Bobby and Tommy, looked at each other and said, "It's a trick. Let's look all around to see who is making this voice." They began to walk around the bus, looking underneath and inside and everywhere. Then they came around to the front of the bus and stood staring at it. What they did not know was that the little yellow school bus was staring back at them in great surprise. He had seen a lot of people since he came from the factory where he was made. But never before had he seen two people who looked exactly alike. The school bus just had to ask a question about this curious matter. So he said, "Are there really two of you who look exactly alike?" The twins looked underneath the engine, then stepped back again. "Are there really two of you?" the school bus asked again. The twins looked at each other and began to giggle. Could it be that the school bus was really able to speak? Bobby felt a little strange to be talking to a school bus, but he answered, "We're twins. That means we look alike." The bus thought for a moment. "School buses are alike," he said. So are fire engines. But I thought people had their own special faces. Tommy helped his brother explain. Some twins are more alike than others. When you have seen us a few more times, it will be easier for you to see the difference between us. The little school bus answered happily, I shall watch for you every day, and as soon as I can tell you apart, I shall call out, Hello, Bobby, and Hello, Tommy. The traffic jam in the street now blocked all the other streets as well. A policeman came over to the little yellow school bus and asked the driver, Would you kindly explain to me what has been going on here? Bobby and Tommy spoke up together. The school bus has been talking. He has a wonderful new voice. The policeman frowned and looked doubtful. He had never heard of a school bus being able to talk. Standing in front of the bus, he said sternly, If you can talk, I'd like to hear you say something. Then he quickly added, But not too loud. We can't have another disturbance. The school bus answered in its quietest voice, I'm very sorry, officer. I only wanted to talk to the children and be their friend. The policeman was so surprised he jumped and his hat almost fell off. The policeman thought for a moment. Then he said, I can see that you are a very special bus, and it would make the children very happy to have you as their friend. But you must promise me that you will only talk to them when there are no grown-ups nearby. Most grown-ups are not ready for such surprises. Then he added, and we can't have another disturbance. The school bus thought that was a very good idea because he did not want any more traffic jams. So, using his quietest voice again, he said, I promise, officer. The bus driver led the children back into the bus. Quickly, children, we're late for school. So if one morning when the school bus arrives, you hear him whisper, Hello, isn't it a lovely day? Just pat his yellow paint as you walk up the steps. He will know you heard and that you are his friend. And if you are standing in front of his headlights and you wink your eye, you might even see him wink back. I used to love riding the bus to school every day, but I have to admit, I would have been very surprised if the bus started talking to me. Our next song is called The Buddy System. The buddy system means staying in groups of 2 or more when walking to school or playing outside, or even riding a bicycle in your neighborhood. It's always safer to be with a friend, and I think it's more fun too.
Strolling down a busy street or walking along to school. The buddy system works like this. You shout out to a friend, Hey, be my buddy, walk with me, for 2 is better than 1. 2 is better. 2 is better than 1. And walking with a partner is really lots of fun. So when you're talking safety, it's really the thing to do. Be a friend, be a buddy, just because it's a really smart safety rule.
Using the buddy system is smart. It means having a friend walk with you when you're going places or playing outside. Having people around you is always safer than being by yourself. So remember,
2 is better. 2 is better than 1. And walking with a partner is really lots of fun. So when you're talking safety, it's really the thing to do. Be a friend, be a buddy, just because it's a really smart safety rule.
I like the buddy system. My friends and I agree. When walking to a nearby store, we enjoy the company. We play outside together in groups of 2 or 3. There's safety in large numbers. I'm sure that you'll agree.
2 is better. 2 is better than 1. And walking with a partner is really lots of fun. So when you're talking safety, it's really the thing to do. Be a friend, be a buddy, just because it's what everyone who's smart always does. Be a friend, be a buddy, just because it's a really smart safety rule. It's a really smart safety rule.
This has been brought to you by Twin Sisters Digital Media and Evergreen Podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe and tell your friends to join us for our next episode, The Family Pet. Also, parents, for bonus content that includes picture books, activity pages, and more, be sure to click the link in the description. And for an opportunity to win a $50 gift card, find us on Facebook by searching Twin Sisters Digital Media. Follow our page, then just like and share our latest post. The winners will be announced on Facebook a week later. If your children enjoyed these songs and stories, go to twinsisters.com to find even more ways for them to sing and learn. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter for our free Download of the Day giveaways and promotions on exciting new digital learning content like these and much more. And visit our friends at evergreenpodcasts.com. Thank you for joining us at Storytime Anytime.